Okay, today let's have some fun on the rings. Let's go into a front lever in a funky way, so like a forward roll. So from an L-sit position, slowly down into our front lever progression, wherever it's at, like so. Now we can build upon that, make it much harder. We can do a muscle up forward roll type movement. We can do harder L-sit variations. We can go into planches on top of the rings, bent arm, and then obviously we've got the progressions of the front lever. We can even add on to that and do the back lever as well. But let's keep it nice and simple to start with and then slowly build on top. So what do we need? We need a support position. So this top support on the rings. If you struggle with that one, do it up on P-bars first, make it nice and strong. Even put a band between them, which makes it much easier, because if I put a band between the rings, what it does is it pulls the rings together when I'm in that position. Because what will happen is when you're learning this is that the rings will go out and you'll fall down. So you'll struggle keeping them in towards your side. So having the band helping you and springing you up in the air a little bit, but it also pulls the rings together at the same time. So that's a nice way of spotting yourself if you can't do that support position. Then we need to learn to roll through the rings upside down and land on your feet. So this support position, watch what happens. So my head and shoulders go down on one side, hips come up on the other side, and I control myself through the rings. Now I'd highly recommend with this one that you get good first at the L-sit to shoulder stand. So there's our L-sit, or there's our L-sit. Now watch what happens now I go through to a shoulder stand like position. So this would be a shoulder stand. You don't need to be able to hold a full shoulder stand on the rings, but you need to be able to control the L-sit position through to the shoulder stand with some sort of control, and then you can dive through the rings. Now watch what also happens to the turning of the rings. So if I'm here, there, now I turn the rings as I fall through. If you don't do that, you'll feel very stuck, or it'll happen really fast and you'll fall quickly through the rings. So we just need to be careful you don't slam your heels into the floor. But as long as you brace yourself a little bit with that bent arms, you should be okay. So strong support position, L-sit position, L-sit through to shoulder stand, turn the rings, come down with some sort of control. To start with, it's going to be fast like that, but over time, you'll be able to slow it down. Now, we can slow it down so our feet don't touch the floor. Then once I've got that control and I'm not hitting the floor, I can start to integrate that front lever. Now, obviously, we're only going to be able to integrate a front lever that you already have. So I'd highly recommend, if you're struggling with any of those movements, like the front lever, you train them away from a combination like this, make it strong, and then use it in the combos afterwards. But say we have a tuck, we go into a tuck L-sit, into our shoulder stand, rotate round, again into our tuck, and hold. Now notice what I've done there is I hung in the inverted, I hung out in the inverted position first before lowering to the front lever. What I didn't do was go fast into the front lever, because that would create momentum pulling us down. We want to catch the position first and then slowly lower into that front lever. So watch the inverted position again. So L-sit, roll through, inversion, then controlled entry to front lever. So that way I'm not having to catch the momentum created by the roll. I show control in the inverted position and then I slowly enter the front lever. Now, if you already have a muscle up, we can add the muscle up into the roll before we go into the front lever. So I'm going to go into the L-sit. The easier version to start with is to slow it down, bring the rings in, find my false grip position, roll through, and then push out. And then I can roll again and go through to the front lever. Now I could go straight from the forward roll into the front lever, but everything's going to happen faster. And I'd only do that faster version if you can do the faster front roll without bringing the rings in and stopping yourself with the straps. And that would look more like this. So a harder variation of the L-sit, rolling through, muscle up, back into front lever. Hard to do that and talk. So if you are doing that variation with the muscle up forward roll, then you're going to have quite a complete combination that's working bent arm strength, straight arm strength, and also those static positions being the L-sit, potentially the shoulder stand, and the front lever. And then obviously you can build upon it and just start to open out into harder variations of all of those, whether it's the straight-legged L-sit, straight-legged shoulder stand, which I can't do here because of the ceiling height, and then the straight-legged front lever position, which I can't do for more than a few seconds anyway. But obviously you can only work to what progressions you can do individually. But hopefully that's opened your eyes up on different ways of training, how you can start to combine different movements into routines or combos that use both dynamic movements, static movements, straight arm, bent arm, and even legs. If you'd like coaching for any of those skills or other handstand movements, check out my website, www.paultwyman.com.au, or for online coaching, I have my app. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and I'll speak to you in the next one.